लाल सलाम, लाल सलाम। अमित की शक्ल को लाल सलाम, लाल सलाम, लाल सलाम। अमित की शक्ल को लाल सलाम, लाल सलाम, लाल सलाम। हिडमा मारोगे, और घर से हिडमा निकलेगा। कितने हिडमा मारोगे, और घर से हिडमा निकलेगा। कितने कन्हैया मार।
Viewers, the countdown has begun. UAPA is coming for every single pseudo-intellectual, every fake activist, every terror apologist who marched on the streets of the capital, chanting for Afzal Guru, Yaqub Memon, Burhan Wani, and now dreaded Maoist Hidma. While our Jawans were being ambushed, while their widows were still wiping tears, a bunch of privileged, maybe foreign-funded Azadi chantwalas were holding placards in Delhi. These are the pictures demanding justice not for our martyrs, but for the butchers, the terrorists. And when the law finally wakes up and is set to slap UAPA, suddenly the same group discovers the constitution. Free speech, right to dissent is their excuse. And let me make this crystal clear, viewers. Free speech ends where terror sympathy begins. Let me say that again. Free speech ends where terror sympathy begins. The Constitution protects citizens, not traitors. Article 19 gives you rights. It does not give you a license to glorify men who kill our soldiers. You want to mourn Afzal Guru, the man who attacked parliament? You want to light candles for Yaqub Memon? You want to call Burhan Wani a youth icon? You want to shed crocodile tears for Hidma, the Maoist monster who ambushed 22 Jawans in 2021? For years, this ecosystem has played the same dirty game. If a terrorist is killed, they say this is human rights violation. If a Jawan is killed, they go silent or call it collateral damage. Viewers, if security forces fight back, it is state terror. If UAPA is invoked, it is fascism. The nation has had enough of this treacherous double speak, viewers. A message must go out. Glorify terrorists and you go to jail. Romanticize Maoists, face UAPA, wave placards for mass murderers, be ready to face the full wrath of the law. This is zero tolerance. This should be the new normal. The days of, hiding behind free speech while stabbing India in the back are over. Let's open this up. Dr. Vikram Singh joins the panel. Dr. Pulla Rao also with us. Dr. Singh, what do you make of the chants, the posters, the placards there? Tum jitne hidma maroge, har ghar se hidma niklega.
Pranesh ji and esteemed panelists, good evening. I really salute these boys and girls, and they're extremely fortunate with a silver spoon in their mouth, studying in prestigious colleges. The least that they can do, that they're fortunate that they were not in somewhere else in the country where they would have got their money's worth in no time. UAPA is the least that they can do, apart from the fact that it will be rusticated immediately from the university and the hostels be vacated, because they're living on subsidized and subsidies also paid by the government. And the time has come when society should tell them, you very rightly mentioned Article 19(2) of the Constitution of India, that liberty of speech is not license to carry pepper sprays and inflict injuries and grievous ones at that to the Delhi police personnel, including policemen and women who have been hospitalized and continue to be in the hospital. And in spite of that, have the audacity, they call it fascism. Well, so be it. If you want to know what fascism is, I wish I were the police commissioner, and then you would have understood what fascism is. My words may be very harsh, Mr. Pranesh, but I have never held this kind of a discontent. Anyone who chooses to assault the police officers, there will be consequences for them, and consequences and lessons for a lifetime.
Dr. Singh, just remove the assault bit and, going only by the placards and slogans. People who say this is free speech, we are entitled to our opinion, what would you tell them? They've chanted such slogans for Yaqub, for Burhan. Now they are back on the road, doing the same for Hidma.
This is delirious. This is insanity. This is crazy. And I take the strongest exception to those. If this is free of will, well, also the police have a duty to perform. And you very rightly mentioned Article 19(2) is very clear. The liberty is not license. You are at liberty. But you first of all tried to befool the administration by saying that you will protest against the pollution issues. You did not. You took out your placards and banners and sided with the organizations that have been banned by the government. And siding with the banned organizations would mean like SIMI, Indian Mujahideen and the Naxalites. There will be consequences for those who are siding and sitting on the side of anti-national
Let me turn to
element.
the free speech champion, Dr. Pulla Rao. तुम जितने 1 minute sir, let me at least ask you the question. तुम जितने हिडमा मारोगे हर घर से हिडमा निकलेगा. What does this mean?
It means nothing. I'm surprised that you, who must have read at least about the Naxalite history or Maoist history, which started in 1965, between 70 and 80, entire cities like Calcutta, southern.
It's a matter of days. Maoists are a history in India now. They are counting days. Don't tell me about the Naxal movement.
A few dozen students right in the middle of Delhi, carrying placards.
Yeah.
It is a minuscule thing what it has come down to. Lakhs of Maoists used to be there openly demonstrating. This is free speech.
Okay.
I am afraid free speech gives you the license. You said free speech is a right, but not a license. It is a license. It is
license to no. Dr. Pulla Rao, is everything okay with you, sir? Are you saying because you are one as free speech, you can say Osama was great, Afzal was my hero or is my hero? Can you say that?
As per the present definition of Article 19, they are doing very harmless thing. They're not.
This is a harmless thing. To say तुम जितने अफजल मारोगे हर घर से अफजल निकलेगा, and the same thing about Hidma, that is a harmless thing. The bomber who blew himself up outside Red Fort was harmless.
In a country of 1.4 billion.
Okay, this is how it starts, Pulla Rao. Dr. Rao, I'm sorry to say, this is how it starts. In a country of 1.4 billion. रवि श्रीवास्तव जी आप भी बोलिए, आप भी फ्री स्पीच बहुत फ्री स्पीच बोल रहे हैं. ये फ्री स्पीच है सर.
Neither you nor me or anybody else on this panel can decide whether it is a provocative slogan.
I will decide. If you say तुम जितने हिडमा मारोगे, I will decide. It is provocative. It is anti-national. It is anti-India. It is anti-constitution. I will decide. You have a problem? It is your problem.
Sir, court. We have got judiciary. We have got police. You put up the case against them.
Do you have conscience? 1 minute. You may have judiciary. Do you have conscience? Do you have common sense? Ravi Srivastav, it does not take too much to, distinguish between what is right and wrong.
My conscience is not above the constitution of this state. I am bound by the constitution of this state. I am not bound by your opinion or his opinion.
This is not my opinion. This is common sense.
Let the police take it to court. Court will decide that whether it's.
सर कोर्ट ने तो अफजल गुरु को आतंकवादी बोल दिया, अब उसके बाद कौन सा कोर्ट बचता है? उसको भी हीरो बोल रहे हैं. Which other court do you want to go to?
2016 there was slogans.
Which court do you want to go to? What has the court said about Yaqub Memon, Afzal Guru? But for some people like you, they are still heroes. Sanju Verma, why is your government curtailing free speech?
Very quickly, I just want to make a few points. Point number 1, under Article 19(2) of the Indian Constitution, free speech is not absolute. Any fundamental right is subject to provisions of public order, morality and health. So first and foremost, your freedom stops where my freedom begins. पहले तो ये बात सीख लीजिए. The second point I want to make, the entire Darbari ecosystem of the Congress is today giving bhashan on free speech. This is the same Congress party. Nehru had Majroo Sultanpuri arrested for simply penning a few lyrics against Nehru. This is the same Congress party under whose, tallest leader, supposedly Indira Gandhi, the MISA Act saw more than 110,000 people summarily arrested without even an FIR. Indira Gandhi had Kishore Kumar, Manoj Kumar and Devanand's movies banned simply because they chose to speak out against emergency. This is the same Congress party which in 2012 arrested a cartoonist called Asim Trivedi for a harmless cartoon. This is the same Congress party which arrested 9,000 people in Tamil Nadu simply because they protested against the setting up of a nuclear power plant. And this is the same Congress party which has been mollycoddling people who say, Afzal hum sharminda hai, तेरे कातिल जिंदा हैं, भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे,
You're right.
इंशाअल्लाह।
And let me, Karan, I'll bring you in. Let me ask Tehseen what he thinks about what Omar Abdullah has been saying.
What has Omar said now?
You don't know?
Look,
he says if you discriminate against Muslim students, then you're asking them to go abroad and get lessons in radicalization.
No, listen, there is no excuse for radicalization. I also think that a bunch of these woke kids wearing actually branded t-shirts, which is a sign of capitalism, coming there and shouting Hidma, Amar Rahe, Hidma, Amar Rahe is Porsche poverty and Mercedes Marxism. I also think they are idiots. I also think that whatever be their gender, however they identify themselves as, which is their right, he, she, it, whatever that they identify themselves as, they, them, that's their right. But you cannot throw pepper spray on police officers working on duty. However, having said all of that, I think UAPA is too extreme. I do believe they should be put in jail. I do believe that I hope that they get a good thrashing, if not from officers like Singh Saab, from their parents, they get a little bit of thrashing. The person actually spoke about some model in Buster where the per capita income is less than Somalia. So these are just cuckoo woke people, and wokeism, in my opinion, is a serious problem India is dealing with. But
there are woke leaders even in the Congress party, by the way. You know what they have said, and in the India Alliance. People who whitewash terror, who think it is because of circumstances, the senior leaders, you know their names. Karan.
You know, Pranesh, I'm aghast today at what Pula Rao and Raviji did on your show. They started talking of freedom of speech and the entire Naxalite movement. People like Pula Rao, they were cheering on in 2010 in JNU. JNU students were cheering on, and people like Pula Rao were giving them cover fire when 76 of our Jawans were killed in Dantewada. At that time, those same students said we have a freedom of speech. This is a campus that should celebrate different ideas. To hell with such ideas. And for Ravi Srivastav, let me tell you, sir, when you celebrate killing of our Jawans, it is waging a war against the state. Within our constitution, it is an offense against the state, punishable by BNS. In which world are you living in? I mean, just to give it political, and all politicians from the opposition, many of them have given it cover fire. Asaduddin Owaisi, Yaqub Menon was hanged because he's a Muslim. What was the natural habitat of all these Umar Khalids and Kanhaiya Kumars? What were they doing on 9th February 2016? What is 9th February 2016? The day Afzal was hanged. And they were saying constitutional murder of Afzal Guru. Where is Kanhaiya Kumar today? He's in the Congress. Umar Khalid, who's fighting his cases? The same people from Congress party, yesterday Congress party, Kapil Sibbal and all. This is the ecosystem. This is this Darbari ecosystem, Pranesh, which is anti-national. And then they get offended. Why are you calling us anti-nationals? You have the guts to defend this on national television. Mr. Ravi Srivastav, somebody who's talking about killing our Jawans, you want to give him cover fire?
Yes.
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 You are an anti-national then.
What?
They wear anti-national as a badge of honor. You are an anti-national then.
रवि श्रीवास्तव जी,
रवि
श्रीवास्तव जी, सर एक सवाल पूछता हूं आपसे. When the entire Congress leadership was wiped out by the Maoists in Chhattisgarh, सुन लीजिए सर, 1 minute. One minute. What were the circumstances then? What did the leaders do to invite the wrath of the Maoists? बताइए, उनको क्यों मार दिया?
Congress was working against the Maoism, the Naxalism. They were working against that. That was the reason.
So who is
and
Hidma?
You are today saying they were
supporting. Who is Hidma? Hidma Amar Rahe against the nation hai ki nahi hai, Ravi ji?
Hidma was alive till date. Why could you not take Hidma in last 11 years? What were you doing?
Hidma killed 21 Jawans. Hidma Amar Rahe anti-national.
Today you are Hidma. Today 2016 you said Tukde gang. Where is Tukde gang?
Hidma की बात करो.
Who has been caught?
आप Hidma की बात करो.
Okay. एक बार है वो रवि श्रीवास्तव नहीं बोलेंगे. Dr. Pulla Rao. Who was Hidma? Human rights activist. Who was he? Dr. Pulla Rao, will you speak?
Yes. Let me ask you one thing. Let me tell you. Sorry, Karan Verma, this is JNU PhD. I'm speaking as also Jay Shankar, all these people. There's
1 minute, sir.
there.
Education has never come in the way of intelligence. 1 minute. So don't say that. JNU, PhD, etc., etc. Keep your degrees to yourself. Now you answer this question. Ye Hidma kaun tha?
You can combat ideas with other ideas.
Dr. Pulla Rao, what is this idea of picking up the gun? Which idea is this?
I tell you, the movement is 60 years old and it has declined. It's one of the longest going movements in the world.
I hope the Delhi police is watching this broadcast. If not, when the clip goes out on social media, they should take note of every word that Dr. Pulla Rao has said. Because he was physically not present at the venue holding the placards, but shares the same belief. Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Pranesh, I just want to make one point here. Jehanabad, Bihar mein in 2005, the Gadchiroli massacre, the Dantewada massacre, the Bijapur massacre, the Sukma massacre, the Silda and Bengal massacre, in all these massacres, there are three names that are common. One is Hidma, one is Pappu Lohara, and one is Nimbala Rao. Nimbala Rao was neutralized under Operation Black Forest, and I was on a debate with Mr. Pulla Rao on another channel, and he said, you know, Nimbala Rao was a BTech engineer. Why did you guys have to neutralize him?
Yeah. You know, I am appalled by what Ravi Srivastava said to my question. That the Congress leaders were oppressing the people there, which is why they were killed. Tehseen, you endorse this kind of commentary?
Listen, I just think that Naxalism is a terrible thing. It was the biggest threat India faced. I do want to congratulate the UP government and the present government for finally putting an end to it. There is no scope for violence. I think these kids are woke. I think these kids are
stupid. No, it's not about the kids. Look at these people. Dr. Pulla Rao is no kid by any stretch of imagination. Ravi Srivastava is not a kid. Please, we've run out of time. I hope people who are watching this broadcast, they take note. Dr. Singh is saying something. Sir, 10 seconds.
Misplaced compassion. Tehseen Sahab, I had expected a lot more. Wokeism is a curse and it should go away. There should be no misplaced compassion. They are not kids. They are absolute outlaws and should be dealt with within the ambit of law.
Well said, sir. That's all the time we have. Viewers, the news are with Navita Kumar on the other side.